Hi everybody, my name is Heather Finley. Hopefully the sound of the wind coming through my window isn't too crazy because it's really hot in here, so I'm trying not to like pass out and die. But I am here today with my June movie wrap-up that I swear to post sooner than my May one. I'm going to start being good and posting the first week of each month, I promise. So yeah, let's jump into it. The first movie I went and saw was Me Before You. This one was obviously a very anticipated movie among the booktube community. It is a story about a girl that gets assigned to be kind of the caretaker of a guy that is a quadriplegic. I read the book before going to the movie, and that might have been a mistake because the book had so much depth to it. It was so much more than a love story. There was so much extra stuff about just the political aspects of doctor-assisted suicide, a lot of personal stuff to deal with, being somebody in a position where you are not functioning to how you want to, and different stuff, and people's different prejudice against people. That stuff was all in the book and it was great. That was not in the movie, to be honest. There was little kind of tiny glimpses at some stuff, but they basically stripped it down to be a love story. So I wrote down here that I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, probably more like 3 if I'm being really honest. It wasn't really my thing, so yeah, there was that. And then the next movie I went and saw was Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping. This was the new Andy Samberg movie. It was about a singer who's about to put out his second album after being hugely successful, and the album kind of doesn't do so good. So this movie was really funny. Maybe not quite as funny to me as some other stuff that I saw last month, so I only gave it 3 stars, but it was definitely very hilarious. Obviously you've seen all the Lonely Island videos from SNL, and this is kind of just a huge documentary style of all that. So very funny, definitely recommend checking out. After that, I went and saw The Conjuring 2. I love horror movies. I'm such a horror film girl, but this just totally left me disappointed, to be honest. My biggest problem with this movie, and a little bit the first one, is when you have something that's supposed to be really scary. I'm sure you guys have all seen the imagery of the nun from this movie. Oh, my brother's probably texting me cat pictures because he just got a kitten. Anyways, so that nun, their makeup was just the white makeup with black eyes. To me, that so just removes me from the movie because all I can think is, I can do special effects makeup better than that. You could just have somebody, what's that show, Face Off? You could just have it be the competition of the week for someone to do better makeup than that. Anybody that knows anything about doing special effects makeup can do better than that. So it just really bothers me when a movie that could have maybe had some potential just totally flops. And I also made the mistake of reading some background on that situation that it was based on, so I kind of knew what was real and what was fake in the movie. So yeah, I shouldn't have done that, but they did incorporate some of the hoax theory into it, which was kind of cool. And actually the opening sequence that was the Amityville Horror, I liked that a lot. So yeah, I gave this movie 2 out of 5 stars. Not very impressed. After that, I saw what ended up being my very favorite movie of the month, probably top 5, maybe even ends up being my top movie of the year, to be honest, and that is The Shallows. The Shallows was about a surfer, Blake Lively, who goes to kind of a remote spot and then ends up being bit by a shark, and she's basically stuck in the shallows, close enough that she can see the shore and everything, but it's too far for her to get to, which is a very scary, scary situation. Yeah, this movie was shot beautifully to begin with. I love that it had so much surf footage in it. It reminded me of the old Grind, some of those different movies that had real sport footage in them, but then a story. They are calling this movie torture porn, which honestly, horror movie wise, torture porn, Hostel and Saw and those kind of stuff are my favorite type. So obviously I kind of liked it from that aspect. Blake was absolutely amazing. The shark stuff was just, I don't know, it was a great shark movie and just a great movie overall. So 5 out of 5 stars. totally loved it. That same weekend I went and saw Independence Day, Resurgence. Yeah, so this was not as good as the first one. It just, plot-wise, wasn't the greatest. It was just kind of meh, is how it left me feeling. I give it 2 out of 5 stars. And then this last week, the last 2 movies I went and saw The Purge election year. Again, with being the horror movie kind of person, The Purge is a really interesting concept with having basically a night that everybody can just do any crime they want. And this year they have a senator who's trying to become president and kind of change things around. So yeah, this movie, like, concept-wise, I like Frank Grillo a lot. He's very, very nice to look at. And I liked the main actress. The problem with this is that the writers were freaking racist. Like, there was just so many times that I was like, why did this make it in the movie? Like, it was just too blatant with the racial stereotypes. So overall, I gave the movie 3 out of 5 stars. Had it not had that stuff, I definitely would have enjoyed it a lot more. So that was distracting for me. Then the final movie I went and saw this month was Swiss Army Man, which stars Paul Dano, I think, and Daniel Radcliffe. It is about a guy who is on kind of a deserted island, ready to kill himself, and then a corpse, played by Daniel Radcliffe, washes up on shore, and then it spins off from there. So obviously this movie, just concept-wise, is ridiculous. If you've read any thing about it, it is a lot of like fart humor and just dumb stuff. Honestly, even though I knew this movie would be kind of quirky, I still just found it very, very unexpected in a good way. It brought you through just a whole slew of different emotions during it, and I was surprised by what happened from kind of beginning to end, to be honest. So I really liked it. If you're someone who is not particularly into indie movies, I might not suggest you go to it, but if you're an indie movie person, definitely check it out. It is great, and I can't wait to see more by Daniels, I think is the name of the 2 guys together that wrote it, because I think both their first names are Daniel. So yeah, I would love to see anything else by them. So yeah, and hopefully Daniel Radcliffe wins some awards off this. So yeah, my thing is flashing, the time's almost up. So I'll be back next month with another video. Bye!